Students would like to thank Mr. Sharkovitz for an awesome semester and for all the support he's given us. We'd also like to remind the students that between now and 12 o'clock on Wednesday is the time to turn in our portfolios for all of our pieces that we've worked on in the grade day finals. Before we start, I'd like to invite Bella Chimes up to talk to us about sea breezes. Hi, hello. Sea Breezes is our high school literary magazine, if you don't know. And last year we entered a competition from the NCTE, which is the National Council of Teachers of English, which is like the entire of North America, and we scored superior out of the entire North America with 3 other high schools in our state, so it's pretty great. And for any of you who write or do art or any of that, if you were to send it to us, give it to Ms. McCarthy or even Shark or just on Google Docs, that would be really great because we're always looking for pieces and you can be a part of our report, and that would be great. So thanks. Thank you, Bella. And so first up, we'd like to present Miles Jordi.
How you guys doing? Today I'm going to be reading 2 pieces. My first piece is titled Apologize. There you go. It will not happen again. Refusal in his voice, spitting lies thrown from his mouth. His stern voice had not yet struck me. There was a first for everything. His mind thinks I show a lack of effort towards apology. His misleading mouth trying to place me in detention. I play it off like no big deal. I don't mean one word. My next piece is a stream of consciousness titled Whiskey Ride. I've always been one to look for the next step, taking things to the next level. It started out with a simple task, riding a bike. I'd seen my older brother riding around on his 2-wheeled bike at the speed of lightning, while I slugged around on my dumb, stupid tricycle. On my 5th birthday, I took the training wheels off my bike. I kept falling, left, right, baseline. Yet I persevered through it all to accomplish my goal. I could remember the pain that I would feel next day, black and blue marks covering my legs like tattoos. I would yell, "This time I will get it. I promise I will get it on this trial." And I did. I started to get the hang of it. I was riding everywhere and anywhere. Taking my training wheels off, for me, was as if I was taking a jump, such as learning something new in school, or taking a risk in life.
Hi everybody, my name is Michaela. I'm a high school senior and I'm going to be reading my poem Wake Up. When someone dies out there, they're just a freckle, simple flecks in the sky of this floating rock. You are just a headline, that is what scares you. But do you ever stop and see the world, moving without you, not missing a beat? It just keeps spinning. And do you realize that you aren't the star, and these aren't your extras? You realize that they all have addictions and tragedy and children, and hands in their pockets. They go from their families and fences to seconds on our televisions. They fall from our eyes like tears, quietly. Did you think they noticed you? Do you see that? That is you waking up. That is you caring for the statistics. Hold on to that moment. It is the only thing that keeps us from dying. We are just increasing tombstones, destined for cremation. We are paint splatters on canvas, spewed astray from this brushy reality. Are we knit together, woven strands but never touching? We are unaware, walking by the dying. We are white noise.
Hi everyone, I'm Elliot Farrell. I'm a senior in the creative writing class, and I'll be reading 2 poems for you today. The first poem I'll be reading is Separate Crow, a meditation on sleep. There is a label for everything, for what you like, for who you like. Everything and everyone needs a definition. Few can understand that most of the students are looking for the definition, for their call in life. People are scared to like what they want or who they want. They want to fit into the ideal so bad that they forget who they are in the process. Schools never teach you how to deal with failure. It's so focused on achieving perfection that those who fail are left behind. Strength, the ability to endure the whispers. The people who are the strongest of us all are the ones who appear to be the weakest. Weakness, something you should never show. A feeling that schools fear so much they outcast it, never realizing that they accept it in its purest form. You can't explain to school that in order to succeed, you must first fail. The second poem I'll be reading for you today is Silence. It is a meditation on the Mona Lisa painting, painted by Donahue. I am the most notorious woman in the world, yet no one knows the real me. I am surrounded by speculations of guesses, always trying to define me. My artist understood my depth, drawing 30 layers to complete me. Colors dripped down my canvas. This was the first thing I ever owned. Abused and ignored, I was only looking for my voice. Who knew I would find it in complete silence?
Hi, and I will be reading a poem, which is a type of poem. So it's called Another Last Cigarette. It is always hot when you draw in smoke from a cigarette. Warm feelings as you inhale, death giving your lungs a warm hug as if to say, it's okay, I'm here. I love the way carbon monoxide fills my nostrils as I take a long giraffe from the bag between my lips. With old man Satan spooning my lungs in a cradle. My laptop overheating in my lap as I allow myself to take a moment to breathe. Eyelids fluttering shut as I listen to Lauryn Hill sing that old hymn I love so much. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I would love to get that line tattooed. It would be a hell of a lot better than the old pin and poke under my breast than my trembling hands and blurred vision. It'd be a lot better than the sloppy piercings littered in my ears, done with old sewing needles and ice cubes. Next up is going to be Brianna Santos.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I'm in the 12th grade and I'm going to read a poem. It's called 31 Flavors. Let's play together. From dusk to dawn, find a playground. Be the kings and the queens of the jungle. Yeah. Forget what you mom said. Forget about those bills. Because now, we're on top of the world. Let's ignore what we hear. Hold your tongue. We wish our lives away. Always wanting to be older, wiser, and stronger. Anything but who we are. You say you want to be a kid again? To taste the freedom of childhood once more. You spend your whole life yearning for the flavors of adulthood to mature and grow. And now, you can barely stomach the idea. Next is Michaela.
Hi, I'm Michaela Piche, and I'm a senior, and today I will be reading my two E.E. Cummings style poems, Black Hole and Coma. First one's Black Hole. The sphericristic sky marked a lonely brown. Everything surrounding him, but nothing beside him. The distance speaks. Darkness with no token of future. Life untaken from those who endure the continuality, breath by blink by mind. Pulled into barren-nated isolation, the disappearances seem to make not evident marks. The world never seems to notice the cries of desperation. of moments, passing slowly. The eyes rest in the back and never know a heart beats. Sights are unknown. Life is awake. Why aren't I? It's not fair. God, the selfish bastard, letting life pass by, watching over the events that he stole from. Breath taken in with no life coming out. The world continues to spin. There is no revolvement. Will there ever be? Next up, I'd like to present Donahue.
Alright, there we go. Alright, my name is Justin Donahue. I'm a senior here at Margaret Vineyard High School, as you may know. And I'm going to be reading a poem that's a newspaper-style poem, which is where we take newspaper clippings and we split them in half, and then you move them up by a couple inches to like get the whole poem going, if you want me to be honest with you. It might not always make sense, but it's going to be, I think it'll be pretty good if you ask me. So I really, alright. It's titled as a 20-year poem. And it goes like this. As a 21-year-old take off into the coat, I have the desire to staple in. Business cast out, I do believe. Guess you could be left. And that is it.
Hey guys, I'm Noelle Coburn from the 12th grade of MVRHS, this side of me. I'll be reading S.E. Cummings. It's called Unborn. DNA is a key of life. The mystery of the unknown will take over just like a bullet to the gun. As he put the gun in his hands, bang, bang, he was finally at peace. Silence took over. The beginning to his next life just started. Thank you guys.
My name is Tucker Cosgrove. I'm going to be reading a piece that's a meditation on a photograph called Evening, Listen, More Obey by Chris Burkhead. Lit by a low sun, gently beaming, red, yellow, orange, golden, pink, shining through the pearly clouds. A scene so vibrant it proves there is no majesty like nature. Right. Next up we have Joy.
Hello, my name is Aquinnah, and I'm 11th grade. Actually not from here, so excuse my English, please. I will read today 3 pieces of art. I will start with Fable, we wrote like 2 months ago. It's called Spikeless. The little hedgehog had everything what he needed to live. A warm house for the winter and parents who loved him. But the little hedgehog was sad. All his friends said he is too prickly to play games with him, and it makes him sad because the little hedgehog loved to play soccer. But every time when he played soccer, he destroyed the ball with his bike, so nobody wanted to play with him. His friends got mad when he did it, so they didn't ask him again to play with them. The little hedgehog was so sad that he started crying. Mother hedgehog asked him what happened, and with tears in his eyes he said he didn't want to be a hedgehog anymore. Mother hedgehog comforted him, but the little hedgehog runs out of the house deep in the woods. He was so disappointed about not to play soccer with his friends that he tore out his spikes. Tried not to destroy the ball anymore and hopefully to play soccer with his friends again. The little hedgehog went to his friends and they played soccer together. What nobody expected was that a fox watched the little friends play, and usually he was too scared to attack because of hedgehog spikes, but he saw that the little hedgehog lost all his spikes, so he runs down the hill and grabs the little friends. And the moral of the story, accept you like you are with all your strengths and weaknesses. Then I will read a poem called The Society's Bitch. It was like we should write a poem about society. It's a pretty short one. We know about all this crap and shit, powdered faces, legs open as a barn door, cheap and fast will the job be done. You see, you try, you judge, but you dance and drink when a bitch is calling. And the last one is called Glory. It's an incoming poem. Glory. I ride on an orange horse and a brown nose with the glory of the lively end. apocalypse starts now, and my horse called Jesus, and I am his rider. I fear you the most, because even me don't know what will be. I am the dead, and I fear you to live, because when you live, and the fallen angels rises, then even me is powerless. God said his rider will come, and when his 4 riders are coming, then you know that your life will end, but mine will too. And turn around and sun with me. Thank you very much. Next one is Steve Brown.
Yeah, my name is Stephen Brown, as you may know, but I am a senior in this grade of high school, and I'm reading a short story called The Puppy and the Wolf. There was once a husky pup, so tired of his dull, unadventurous life that he decided to run off into the woods to find his cousins, the wolves. Not knowing the lay of the land too well, he got lost and fell into a mud puddle. As he was climbing out, he saw his reflection in the ripples left in the muddy oasis and noticed he looked a lot like his cousins. Filled with a new sense of pride and spirit from his new look, he bounded through the forest faster than ever. He soon found his cousins wrestling over who gets to go this time. The little puppy steps in and says he will go snag a chicken out from the farmer's chicken coop. Sorry, I just lost what I was going to say. Just to show his cousins he isn't scared. As he and his cousins stalked over to the chicken pen, they started to cluck. Making a lot of noise, the farmer ran out with his shotgun at the ready, my bad. They all got capped, except for the little puppy. He was returned home to his boring but safe old life. And the moral of the story is, if you find a good place that you are, don't try anything too daring without knowing the risks first.
I swear I'm not 5'2". Hello, my name is Karen Lamaris, and I am a senior, and I had the pleasure of being Shark's creative writing class and his English class. And we wrote poems, and one of the poems we wrote is an I Remember poem, and mine is titled Lembranzas. I remember nothing. That's the best part. Mind empty and vulnerable, my imagination impeccably aware. The small plastic humans demanding my attention. I tend to them. Their distinct and pure smell engraved into my brain. The wind blows through my hair. I'm riding on wheels made of lightning. I cross the finish line into the driveway. My dad steps down from his truck. That I do remember. I remember that the most. His smile. Emotions flutter within me. I run into the house. I win this race too. Collapsing on the rug, I giggle and squirm. I'm defeated, my dad proclaims. A fit of laughter robs me of my breath. I lay there waiting for it to be returned to me. My mind resembles the ceiling above, white, untouched. What I remember is worrying. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alyssa DaCosta, and I'm a senior, and I'm going to be reading Fading Thoughts. The light shines through, but nothing can be seen. The things once there, now gone. A cold breeze carries the house through my thoughts. Pasted walls are all that surround me. Empty, numb, broken. I begin to rise, my body shakes. My memories begin clear. The sun falls, night begins, but I still lay here. Up next is Delilah Megan.
Hi guys, my name is Delilah Megan. I'm a senior reading Society Today. We live in a world hooking up is normal. We don't date, we get sex. Where's romance? Is picking her up, opening her door? Where did dates go? Social media impacting your life. If you don't get enough likes, it causes anxiety. That no one likes you? That you as a person aren't good enough. When did someone's opinion of you define who you will be, who you want to be? The boy who dreams of touching the moon,
The girl who hopes to be the president. Why do we listen to people who won't be in our lives in 10 years? Where did dressing up go? Where did meeting his parents go? Thanks, guys.
Hi guys, I'm Bryce senior at the high school. I'm also in Shark's creative writing class, and I'll be reading my poem called Civil Lawsuits. It's also a newspaper poem with Justin Lee. The top 40 radio requires 10 votes, but this is a capital case. For Lenny Beard, these civil lawsuits are against an industry for abandonment of their own magazines about retirement. Live on stream, they were abandoned with Clear when I was 21, a unanimous decision made 4 years ago. And that's it.
I'm Meg Burke, and I'm reading 2 pieces that I wrote for you guys. The first one is a stream of consciousness called My Life as a Teenage Wreck. It's kind of long, sorry. Just fix this for you guys. Come on, it's okay, I got it. Okay. Do you ever just think about blood? I mean, not spewing and gushing and massacre-sized splatters, but just dripping and puddling and warming the palms of your hands, a distraction from the pain of the mess you made. I do. It comforts me to imagine my incense-infused Meg cave lit dimly by my porcelain lamps as my insides warm my outsides, which indirectly comes back to comfort my inner teenage wreckage. Symptom 1, insomnia. You never know what it's like to be worn out until it physically takes you hours just to fall asleep and then start recuperating. Have I even recuperated yet? Did I even sleep, or was it just so painful that all else left my mind and there's nothing else to remember? Pain is the worst. I guess that's the next symptom of being crazy. The surges of pain with unknown origins just don't make sense. I don't know if they're even real when I look back on them, but in the moment it's real for sure. It's hard not to believe constantly recurring aches throughout your whole body. I wonder if this is what it feels like to be punched and pushed and kicked and thrown and hit and abused by an elephant. Or 5. Overdrawn weakness is symptom 3. It might honestly take every grain in my body to press down on one key. Typing on a keyboard is a lot easier than most things in life, but how is it that I'm not exaggerating? Does it really take more effort than that to fall out of bed in the morning, or open the freezer drawer, or just walk up the stairs? I don't even remember. Another symptom already. Great. Memory doesn't even matter at this point. I'm consciously writing down my thoughts for a paper that I'll print 4 copies of to see if it will connect with one theme and subject throughout the whole thing like a good writer does, like my classmates do so well. Honestly, I don't even remember how I started this paragraph. I wouldn't know because the only vivid details that stick behind like honey to my brain are the rape and the hitting and the abandonment from the past. Sweet, right? Freaking perfect. Why don't I ever write about happy things? Why does it always have to be this sappy purple stuff that you know nobody wants to hear and you know you don't want anybody to hear? That's another freaking symptom of being you. Screw being you. Being you sucks. Symptom number something. Self-confidence. At this point, I can't define it. I've felt it, I've lost it, I've missed it, and I've thought I never had it. Because yeah, sometimes I love who I am. I mean, come on, I'm hot shit. But maybe it's too much pressure. Maybe every time I get there, it takes over, and any little flaw shines so bright that I get caught up and end right back in the hole I started with. Life's turning into a game of whack-a-mole. How does that metaphor make sense? Fuck if I know, it just feels right. Maybe it's the never-ending attempt to shine in the world without being knocked down when you finally come close. Maybe it's the fact that money provides that chance to ever happen, and without your coin slot, your game's not being played. Good luck without it, I promise it's not that hard. What am I even writing about? Rape, insanity, arcade games?
How much of this have I actually experienced? Or did I say that bullshit sentence to cover up the fact that I did go through it, but I'm smart enough to know that you guys should be left at a cliffhanger? Or maybe I'm smarter than letting you guys in on my secret. Maybe I made all of this up. Maybe Meg's just a sane little weirdo living and writing secrets about secrets. Maybe I'm the cliffhanger. My next piece is a meditation on the painting, The Great Wave off Kanagawa. It's famous, but like it's not that famous. It's like this big, huge waves. Like you got the crash piece. It's a nice painting. Words sift through your nerves, engulfing each mitochondria of your being and injecting its toxic salts into any graze or gash. May prosperity be in the beholder's fate, for shelter will be needed against their otherwise schemed demise caused by the crushing weight of stress. For barren skies through struggle, weighing truth, reality, and importance, and rationalizing the sweet smell and lethal taste of guilt. May falsities never collide with progress, for through uncertainty, relief is hard to grip tightly to when hands are clammy with laps. Carte blanche lies behind such a campaign. Darby is next. Thanks for coming.
So, I'm going to read a stream of consciousness piece called Like a Fish. I reopen my eyes and it's still dark. I think of what is now yesterday, but I feel an ache that tells me it's still today. The ache begins to sting and I want to scream, hey! I feel real icky with myself! Can people go through rigor mortis while still being alive? That's what it feels like now. No movement, just stiff like a dried fish skin my dad leaves in the pan overnight. Why the frick does he do that? Does he want the essence of the fish to permeate through the whole house so we can wake up and say, wow, that was a hell of a good fish, I'm glad it's still here? No, that would never happen, Father. We are not animals. Sun reaches past my curtain and pinches my left eye, forcing me to say uncle before the alarm buzzes me straight to my core. I must break the clay exoskeleton around me and move. I peel off layer and layer and layer of blanket, regretting every single movement at the aftermath. Ow, red. It's like hours later, it's always like, why do you do that? You're like a kid with a crayon pressed to the wall. Hey, this will be real crappy when someone else finds out, but now it makes complete sense to do this. This is my right to express. It's my wall, isn't it? But here I am, and my mom can't get the Mr. Clean and scrub this one off. Her voice pierces my eardrums. Hun, parents have come up to me and they tell me you seem unstable. Thanks for the update on what other people think of your minor, Mom. It's not like you rebuffed them, did you? No. I hear their fake worries seeping through your words all the way down to little old me, and I feel sticky with it as it echoes in my bones, eating the marrow, laughing like I do when I shake off the day I live over and over and over and over again. Feels great, honestly, Janine. It feels amazing. Living like I do, I wouldn't trade it with anybody. My friend told me he doesn't feel feelings anymore. Nothing. He just fakes love so he can try to feel something. I don't know if that's like sick and twisted or if it's some sort of instinctual survival instinct. Like how fish can change gender to keep their species alive. I highly doubt he's a fish, but hey, if that's what you gotta do, then who am I to judge? If I could look into the future and see me faking it, I'd be so mad I could just gosh darn spit. But I wouldn't be surprised. No. I'm just that apathetic. I kind of just flop my way there. Like a fish. Is here my water, or is there my water? And when the hell will my gills kick in? And I'll be able to breathe. Is it called breathing for a fish? That opportunity to know past kids, so just keep walking past the desert and over the river and through the woods to a house that used to be my grandmother's, a house that used to be curious innocence. Lose it. Just let it go. It's closed on a holiday weekend and for the season and for the year. Good night. When I was 5, my dad would sing this Celtic song to me. He made up himself. The sharks in the water swim round and round. I forget the rest, but I know the story. The fish hide and they fall asleep. Lucky bastards. But this song is wrong because fish can't sleep. But none of that matters because all we do now is laugh and then argue, and it's bitter and it's sweet. My favorite. Like a fish. But fish don't feel like me. Thanks. After I attend to this situation, Baird is going to come up and read something for you guys. Have fun with this, Raya.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Raya. I can't beat Darby, that was great, props to you. But I'm going to be reading a poem called Fragmentation for you. I remember the halo, 3 stories up, me looking down, my mother's head disappearing. She loved her Newports, and they loved her. I remember his body stuck between glass and screen, not crying, screaming. Switch bodies, look up, drop your cancer. I remember aside the waterways of family, flooded carpets, clogged eardrums. I remember the rules, excitement became the scourge, only walking was allowed. 3 stories up equals down, animated falling, controlled wigs, tiles at the bottom of the chlorine pond held the fun in its grains, and even the most free had boundaries. Thank you. And up next is Miles.
Love you.
Hi, I'm Miles Thornton. I'm a senior, and I'll be reading 2 pieces for you. The first is a poem called Ashes. If you find the boy that lit the fire, ask him why he did it. Ask the boy to show you the match that he used to set your Christmas trees aflame. Ask him why he likes to watch your favorite toy melt down to liquefy into an unrecognizable blob. If you catch the boy that furiously burns away, embrace him. Wash away the ash from his hands, cool his mind with your soft breath. Breathe your kind words across his forehead and blow away the bullets of sweat. Douse his flaming thoughts that roar inside and remind him that his mother loves him. For the second piece, I'm going to do a scene from a play that I wrote with the help of Darby Patterson, Oliver Silverstein, and Michaela Piche. This play is called Consciousness of the Quantum Mind. A little preference about what the play is about. Oliver is playing a professor of physics at a local community college named Atticus Huxley. He's also a rampant user of LSD. His wife doesn't know. His wife, Morgan Huxley, Darby Patterson, is a devout Mormon, has no idea about his drug use. Up until this point in the play, Morgan has accidentally found Atticus's stash. Not knowing what it is, she takes some. She trips really bad. This is her coming out of the trip. Right? Lights up on a page. Lights come up on the Huxley home several hours later, completely demolished. Morgan is slumped in her chair. She is clutching her wooden cross that was hanging up on the wall. She and the cross are covered in blood. As she looks around, she sees the dead body of John Von Neumann, the friendly local mailman. She lets out a terrible scream. Off stage, we hear Atticus walk through the door.
Honey, I'm home. I got a surprise for you. What is it? Are you okay? Holy Christ! What the hell happened? Who is that? What happened? Is that the mailman?
What the heck was in those gummies?
How did you get those?
Atticus, what were they?
Now, honey, stay calm, okay? You're gonna figure this out.
Atticus, just tell me what the hell happened.
Those candies, they're laced with like sodium acid diethylamide. It's a member of the ergoline family.
Atticus.
That's what I see.
You mind to tell me how LSD got in your coat pocket?
Fine, you caught me. I've been taking that stuff for a while now. You know how I've been struggling with work lately? Well, I use these to kickstart my equations. It blocks out all the unnecessary complications in the world.
Oh, well, I'd say it's gosh darn complicated now.
Don't freak out, darling. We'll get through this.
Oh, don't call me darling, please. Alright. What are we gonna do?
Well, I was gonna surprise you with this, but I got us 2 tickets to kind of do. At least tonight. We've been talking about a vacation for a while now.
We can't just leave him here. He's such a nice guy.
Honey, we can't stay here. It will be the end of us. You'll get kicked out of the church. I probably won't get tenure at the university.
God.
Here's our chance to start over. Who knows? Maybe this will be good for us.
Okay. Maybe you are right. But what are we gonna do? The party.
We'll bury it in the garden.
You can't be serious.
I've never been more serious. Come on, honey. If we're going to get through this, you need to trust me.
I trust you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Aquinnah. I'm a senior, and I'll be reading a story to you called The Vanilla Sky. Have you ever found yourself alone, 3:38 a.m., no lights, no sound, sitting on your front porch wondering why it's never this quiet inside your head? Yeah, me neither. I usually have a light or two. I can quit at any time, but I don't want to. It's sad, the definition of addiction is the strong need to regularly have something or do something, and for some of us, consciousness is too good not to want. It's when the heat leaves your chest and warms your palms, you're breathing, your eyes are hooded, and your smile is ever growing. It's that shaky rhythm in your thighs, that cocky little buzz getting you through the shittiest classes you've had today. It's that I've been to every lunch this period and I still don't know what class I'm supposed to be in. It's that little thing bringing me back to the thought of even getting out of bed at 5 a.m. every morning. I don't think they get it. It's easier to find drugs than it is to find a parking spot on this rock we call home. Don't cringe when you see your reflection. I'm telling you now, you're the best friend you'll ever have. Things change from day to day and I hate how much I have to keep up. Sometimes I swear I'm squared up against my own damn thoughts. No guard, no gloves. You know what's funny? How hard it is for me to leave this building not covered in paint or clay. At this point, I just kind of go with it, as do the rest of us dreamers. We take the shit thrown at us and we plow through it. We might not be smiling, but believe me, we're almost there. A vanilla sky is the goal, but never the limit. Cloudless, the secret inspiration to us.
but they'll only judge us, right? Why say anything at all? I'm sick of the he said, she said, what I said. Forget that. Here's what I said. I'm tired. I hate Google Docs, and I know I'm the elephant in the room. Why are you behind my back? I know my name's already been in your mouth. In 10 years, I think I see myself still in therapy, still taking care of my mental stability, my anxiety, my health, lame shit like that. I see myself struggling to stay balanced, but damn am I loving the ride on the way down, because I know eventually I'll come back up. It'll be 1:30 p.m. one day, and I won't be here, and we won't be wondering how we let the sun get away from us. That warm feeling in your chest, don't worry, it never left.
Before we conclude our coffee house, we'd like to invite any of the readers or members in the audience, if you guys have any pieces or extra stuff you'd like to share. We still have a little bit of time. If not, no worries. Margaret? Yes? No? All right, Margaret Joba-Woodruff. So this is oddly fitting. This is my last day of high school, and I've been in 2 coffee houses in my time. Twice I've taken Shark's creative writing class and thought it'd be a good finale for my high school career to read one of my pieces I wrote in his class. Because this man's awesome, and what he does for us is awesome. So this piece I wrote last year, and it was actually published in a creative writing journal called Fine Lines. It's about a certain time in my life, and it's very meaningful for me. So it's ERB by me. Sometime in my time of mind-manipulating sadness, someone found a file in their hands with my name on it, and that has made all the difference. I never intended to stumble into that world of shaking fingers and schizophrenic teenagers, but maybe that world intended to waltz into my time and make something of it. Or maybe he butted his head into the conversation about the cats who got locked in a basement, who had been replaced by toddlers running around in their underwear, because destiny had to call it that way. Or maybe, in a different timeline, the dice rolled differently, and instead of landing on a 4 or a 6, they landed on 30 Warren Street. And just think, it's been 358 days and counting since I first stepped into that rotating universe, guided by that gay Jehovah's Witness in a vest with flared jeans, straight into the room with a patchwork ceiling, similar to what yours would later look like. And sometimes, when I think about love, I realize how different it can be. How when I say I love you, and it seems weird, but somehow it all makes sense. All I can hope is that I will never lose your aura. Like when you spilled coffee on the floor next to my bed near the window when I refused to get up and the smell lingered there until the day that I left. I would do anything to sleep in that bed again and wake up to the other Kyle dragging my sheets off the bed to expose my toes to the cold air, and it was so freezing from that goddamn heater that was broken. And instead of giving off hot air, it spewed out cold air, frigid winds and the terrible food, and strangers' hairs stuck to the shower walls, and drops of pee on the toilet seat which no one had the consideration to wipe off, and the warped mirror and the broken walls. Trust me, I know it sounds crazy, just like me, but I promise I've never called home the way I do to you.
Today is also my last day, and I've always enjoyed English. I love to read, but I've never been a big fan of actually like writing things out. I like to read other people's writing. Except this year, Shark has a different way of teaching. He accepts kids' differences, their uniqueness. He accepts our uniqueness. And there is not one class of his that I don't laugh in, that I don't smile in, and that's rare because we come to school, we didn't get enough sleep, we're hungry, the bus driver makes me throw my hot chocolate away before I even get to drink it. So we're cranky, except he always makes us laugh. It's his hat, it's his Angelina Jolie jokes, he looks like Brad Pitt, can't you see? So I'd like to thank you. You made my senior year go by really quickly, and I had 2 periods every single day, and I enjoyed both periods, and all of this is happening because of you. And I know that every single one of these students would agree with me. We're thankful for you, Shark. Not only am I thankful for Shark, this this short story is based on my father, and I'm graduating early today, and he is the motivation and the example, and I owe all my success because he's been there through everything. And yeah, I just wrote the story about my dad. And it's called Soft and Strong. And bitterness was not able to consume the heart of the little boy as he sat around the dinner table staring at the pieces of steak with longing in his eyes. Being the oldest sibling, he would allow the privilege of having me at dinner to his younger siblings. But his mouth watered with the desire to be able to enjoy a juicy piece of steak. He believed that one day he and his family would be living a different life. Though his dad woke up at the crack of dawn to milk the cows and collect coffee beans, supplying for a family of 6 was not an easy task in Brazil at the time. Hardly anything was easy back then. It wasn't easy dropping out of school to take care of the household while his mom lay in a coma after giving birth to his 3rd sibling. It wasn't easy falling in love with a girl coming from a more privileged family. It was not helpful for his ego to only afford the smallest of teddy bears on Valentine's Day. It was 2 years before he got the chance to resume high school and graduate. He did not have a privileged past, nor an easy laid-back childhood, but his heart was not consumed by bitterness. That young, unprivileged boy is now living that different life he believed he would be blessed to have. I smiled at him as he relaxed into the hot tub and stated, "At your age, dear, I didn't know these things even existed." My smile slowly faded as the weight of reality set in. This man had survived scorpions in the desert and raging river currents, but here he was, my father, and a great one indeed. He had changed the story around, he had made it through the rough times, he had been strong. But here he sat, smiling and laughing with his family and holding in his chest the warmest, kindest heart in the world.